coming here on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas Eve. I know a lot of us have things that we're going to be doing later. Be safe. Travel. Just be safe when you're traveling. Watch out for everyone and just drive slow. There's no rush to get anywhere. This is going to be a really great webinar. It's an informal, informational webinar. Brother Ash will be here any second, and we want to have fun and just festivities, man. Let's enjoy the heck out of this because it's been a little while since we've seen our brother Ash. I'm sure he's going to talk about a lot of different things, but just keep yourself muted. To the audience, welcome to everyone out there.
Guys, come on.
And Marty's talking live again, but that's okay. It is a live video, but let's have some fun with this. And I'm trying to see everything on my screen here. Marty, is there anything that you have to say, brother, before we start?
Yeah, I'm trying to find cages for all these kids, but I can't find them. No, I don't have anything right now. No.
Okay. We will. Let me see if he's on here yet. We'll wait. But I hope everyone's ready for the holidays. You got one day. I myself did not get all my packages.
Ash is
so there's
making
going
a
to be more
surprise
Christmas after
appearance.
Christmas.
Let me know if my sound is good.
Just a couple packages. Amazon, I guess, didn't do so good this year. And they went on some kind of strike. But I'm waiting diligently. Hopefully they'll come in the next 2 hours, but I doubt it. But that's okay because I could celebrate Christmas any day of the year. Absolutely love this family time. I'm going to tell you something what Ash Mufareh said to me the other day. He had talked about coming out, and we said, what about Monday? He says, no, Tuesday. And I said, Ash, it's Christmas Eve. And this was his exact words to me. That's when family's supposed to get together. That was his words. I didn't make that up. I don't make anything up. But when he said that, I thought, man, I gotta rethink how I'm talking here. But that's what he said to me and to Marty. And this is the best time for family to be together. And I was actually really happy that he said it. Like I said, I got a lot of plans today. I'm sure a lot of you do. And it doesn't matter what time he would have said, I would have showed up no matter what. But I'm excited. I can see that you are looking dapper and ready for, look at Dan. Dan's up in the mountains, man. He's ready to go skiing.
Right now,
I think what he's going to do.
Started.
Brother Ash, I know, is now on here, waiting to see his camera come on. Unless I don't see him. Hold on. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my best friends in the whole world next to Marty DeGarmo, a guy who I think has given us everything. And he's been the most honest, true friend I've ever had in my life. And I'm very grateful that I got to know him and all of you. Mr. Ash Mufareh, the floor is yours, sir. I love you, man.
Hello, everyone. I love you back. Merry Christmas to you all. I am so happy to be here. Yes, family come first, so you can cancel everything else, unless you take us with you.
This AI tool will take your idea and create a complete book, complete with design, images.
You've got to be a part of your plan. So here's what happened in the last 3 minutes. So I came up, I came up here and without my camera. And then I opened my camera after 3 minutes. What happened in those 3 minutes? I'll tell you a secret. I speculate how is my brother Chris looking. So I've got to level up my cool to his level. I was looking a little bit trampy, maybe. Nobody's.
You brought the sexy, Ash. You definitely brought the sexy, man.
I had to pump it up a little bit. I'm so happy to see so many of you after a long time. But you're always in our thoughts, and indeed, this is a great time of the year. Yet sensitive, critical. We reflect back. We look forward a little bit. We evaluate. We discuss. But before we get into business, I really genuinely want to say thank you all for your time. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, it's just a good time. Let's be good, kind people.
It is
no matter what.
Christmas Eve.
Doesn't have to be so radically like religious thing. A lot of people take it fanatically. I would take it socially. Come on, your neighbor, your whoever, friend, just go with the flow, and it's not a bad thing. No matter which way you pray or God I don't think they would mind that you're doing goodness to other faiths. So let's agree on that. All right? Don't get too crazy about Christmas, not Christmas, because we still can't make up our mind. It's a beautiful time of the year. And it's a beautiful time because we're connecting. It's also good that we are reminded how we are still here. You're the house, not just the furniture. You are indeed the property that we have, or the assets. And I'm somewhat thrilled of the loyalty, the commitment, the dedication that you have. We all have those parts of our life. We've heard about our sister Robin. We know what's happening with your husband, obviously Joyce, and you know, everybody. I know Peter gone through some turbulence this year. I think almost all of us, everybody have some pain one way or another, but yet you still show up when it's family time. I'm honored. I want to thank you for your care, for making the time, for dedication that you put into this all the times. You show up pretty much day in, day out, regardless of the circumstances. And you still believe in the journey, despite all the non-pleasant things we went through. That's enough for me. If I just discovered this today, enough for me to start a whole revolution. You give me so much drive, you give me so much passion that there is good, and there are people who want a better way. If they get it, if you build it, they will come. You know the saying. And that's how I keep refueling and refilling my tank. You're my rock. I truly love you, admire you. I appreciate you. I wish you the best time ahead in the coming year. First, health is crucial for you, for the family, for the loved ones. I wish you love, lots of money, do good things with it. Health, wealth, prosperity, I mean it. And I know it's there and it's achievable, but just open to receive. We're going to turn this around. It hasn't been the way we wished for, but always something good or better comes out when you go to a higher ground. When somebody tries to knock you down, as long as you're able to get up again, which we keep doing that, you rise higher. And your horizon is far broader. You could see way further than before. So rationally, we make better decisions from these knockdowns, if you wish. Let's be more specific. We started this journey 2018, and it was a wonderful start. Made mistakes, many mistakes, some of them trusting the wrong people, some of them allowing the wrong people to be a part of the journey, the pre-launch phase, if you wish, and saying the wrong things based on somebody's information that they let you down time and time. We wanted to be actually again back in phase 2 by this time of the year, around this time. Thank God we didn't. I'll tell you why. Onpassive problems basically at the end of 22, roughly 2 years ago, 2022. If you recall who, I know those who are on the screen, they all have been here. When we had the World Cup back then in Qatar, and what happened is we discovered that we're behind in the development. Wasn't so dramatic, but as we kept interacting between different teams like Dubai, even Egypt, go to Hyderabad, our bigger building, that has taught us, and the findings were not encouraging every time, like we're behind. So finally, we came out to the market September 2023 last year, a little like 60 months ago or so, 14, 15, 6. Yeah, actually, September. It was Labor Day weekend when we came out with O-Connect. And then more issues, got tangled, and it got a little bit complex. But thank God for those problems. It showed us many facts and factual findings that they were not pleasant at the time. But today, as we look back, we're happy that happened. So what matters, if you zoom out the overall picture, what matters is the big picture. This is just going to be a cycle or an episode. Yeah, regardless of how bad or ugly it is, no problem. But at some point, it will be over. And we will be there. So what is coming far greater than that tiny weeny little cycle. So always think big picture, the overall. After this passes, or the clouds will clear out, and then we look back, you hardly will be interested. I guarantee this. You're not going to be even interested. It's like, why are you going to waste your time when you have something much bigger, greater, and more positive? Why you want to, like, what we call it, drama times? Okay, why you want to go back?
It is no measure of sanity to be well adjusted.
Okay. So as this developed even more complicated earlier this year, 2024, by the summer, things got broken. To find that we were obviously cheated, betrayed, robbed, and lots of wrongdoing, mismanagement, the least to say, on many fronts, okay? And the challenge was, how do we take it from there? Because that's not going to dictate who we are, or like it's not going to end our journey. So how do we cure that? Those responsible face proper consequences, okay? Perhaps not to lose our cool and move forward, but in a better structural way, more strategic, more polished, and close all those loops. There was one mistake. I still gave a second chance to some of the old entourage. Here we go again. Okay, fool me twice. So we got a few. They were happy, but their motive was more, now it's my turn, you fool, you're out, I'm in. So it was like between them and the ones that are left behind that missed the boat. Ash is a flood of cash, is generous, is cool, amazing, higher salary than any other company. They treat us like kings and queens and royals, better than he's living. And they don't yell at us. They treat us perfectly nice. So it was more personal, tribal thing between, and rival between, who came with us and who didn't come. And then to find some of who were with us also bad apples. Thankfully, we discovered them early on before things, go to a higher level. So we let them go. So now we got more enemies, more employees. They're complicit with different departments, snitching, making things up, false accusations, all fabrication. You can imagine. Just to destroy this monstrous Protestant. Okay, take that back. Okay, not me, but that's what they want to be. So it was lovey-dovey as long as they were with Ash. Beautiful life. Okay, clap, my hero. And the minute they felt that this is no longer a honeymoon, I became a bad guy. And the attention of everybody got hurt. Hundreds of employees are affected. Think of that, okay? Why? Because of somebody's greed, somebody's, theft, somebody's misconduct, okay? People have suffered that. And most of them knew the source of that, wrongdoing. Yet, when they became enemies, more guys, okay, they, for some reason, they found it is easier to go after Ash and this concept of Onpassive or the new phase that he's going after. This is official. Some of them, and a couple of names, okay? We're not going to get into that today, but the truth will shock you. The truth is going to blow your mind, just out of curiosity. It's a bit ugly, but you're going to have more respect for us to see what we went through, yet we're still fighting for your dream. But those who try to destroy the next one, this is exact words. Their mission in life is nothing but to destroy Ash or this business. Their complete mission, that's it. They got family, they got kids. All they want to do, you give them an opportunity, it's not what they're focused on. You give them a path forward for prosperity. No. The evil is overtaking them. But obviously that's a good thing, because if somebody's blinded by the devil, if you wish, then all they're doing is creating a chaotic situation for themselves. They naturally will be exposed, even if you are effortless. So that's what happened. So we discovered that phase 2, they were early on it because they were missing the boat. Okay, let's say that again. So they felt they're left out. So we're going to destroy it. It's either we're in. This is the definition of extortion. This is truly blackmailing. Like, people said, you give me this or you don't do that, I'll do this. See the level of insanity? And they hijack the business. Whether it's a source code, whether it's a development, whether it's a design, whether it's, accounts, login, they hijack that. So for a couple of months, we struggled just to recover the source code. And you know what? After all that chaotic. Yeah, we got the source code. We got a good recovery of the data. Was a project, was a challenge, but because of all of that, now you've got to cut it from the throat. I apologize for the analogy. You got to cut that from the source. So that's why I said no one, period, is moving with us. This is not about founders. This is not about the public. This is not about affiliates, marketers, not about any of the members. This is specifically about staff that we have changed their life, former staff. And it's very obvious now. They're working very hard to connect any new entity to Ash, add it to the cases, all of that. A few cases, okay. Nothing will shock you. You know, there is an SEC case, perhaps. I have been investigated by the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission in the United States, in a civil case since 2018, January. Next month, just in a few days. So all the data they've collected since then. It will be 7 years. I've been through this pain. And it's so obvious there's no findings, okay. We still have that case going on. We continue to reject and decline and deny all the allegations. The theory, this is like a security, unregistered security, and it was not something that we ever promised. You put this money, you take this money out. Conceptual. Did some people misrepresent and misspeak and all of that I have nothing to do with them? Yes. Did I violate any conduct or any? No. In their eyes, yes. Okay. But again, they're working harder to, and I'm saying others like outsiders, the SEC, obviously they're doing their job. If they get something, they need to do their job. I'm in favor of having regulations and tight enforcement in the country and, you know, protect the consumers. But sometimes you feel things are not making sense or it's not adding up. What is the actual motive and why is it, you know, we haven't harmed anyone and people could speak up and voice their opinion. Like a few are snitching, okay, completely detached from reality, but also our good people should technically be allowed to voice how they feel. Did you get were you misled? Where did you get cheated, or did you somebody stole your money or assets or anything?
Oh my
Or
God.
did you get greater value than what you put into it? All of that. Are you happy to be there, or are you being forced or lied? Okay. So I wish there's a better system that will do that. We have I believe, one of the strongest legal teams, perhaps in the country, if not in the world. Okay, very strong, very professional. They're taking care of it. We're going to stay in the fight and prove that we have a very impressive vision, and we've worked hard to make this reality. So this is something is not new to us. Probably to some of you it's new, all of that, but that's not going to determine who we are. It's just an opinion or just maybe somebody's speculation or a wishful thing. Let's knock this guy down or destroy. I've had people who've collected money back from the beginning when we wanted to terminate their accounts in Onpassive, and some of them are still with us and they are listening now. They collected money. Let's go Sue, Ash, do this before I do anything but good. I just said I had a good idea. Let's go to business. I'm going to work hard on your dream. So this is the mindset. So that has taught us a lot. Evil exists, okay? Corrupted minds are there. Not everybody's going to think as pure as we think or take it nicely, innocently. Not everybody's going to, sadly. And I had to learn the hard way. I was thinking that, man, you sound honest, okay? Or these people, okay, not going to go that far. They're not going to do. You would think human beings don't go to that extreme of evil, but it is what it is. It taught us a lot, made us stronger, definitely. So we'll continue this process. We've cooperated perfectly. We're even surprised that they brought this to the public. It was private investigation for a very long time. I don't think it will shock you if I tell you they know about my business. They should know from all the data we've given them more than I do. You know, the details, the reports, all of that, because my motive is not the numbers and all that. It's very obvious, okay, if somebody get to know me. I'm mission and you know, vision driven, okay, not for the benefit. And that has obviously got refueled by those, I just said, former staff to also help. Okay, well, it's something that he's on the ground. Let's go and beat him up more. Okay, so throw more arrows at him. It attracted them because of something working. They tried. Listen, this is what you know, but they have tried. They can go, or they tried to go to the extreme. Okay, to destroy me, my family, my business. That's on the on the fun side, the business. But to really demonize me, and Ash is, you know, a monster,
I'm not
really a
getting
bad person.
rebrand.
That
I don't
hurts.
know.
But who says that? So the challenge for me, am I going to let that get in me and say, you know what, screw people, screw humanity. Why am I going to go through this? Let's go have a good life. I don't need this. Okay, I'm just going to let this go, and that's it. Shut down the business, and we're done.
That's a
That's
weird
an
thing to
easy
say with the
call. A lot of
rebrand.
people, even for themselves, they would bankrupt, right?
Like, that's a really weird thing to say with a rebrand. Like, this is what I mean. I'm not really getting rebrand. Like, where did Gursminder get the rebrand from? Bothering me.
I mean, when it gets hard, people react differently.
See, it sounds like he's saying that Onpassive's going to go ahead no matter what. That's what I'm hearing. And then the rest is his usual spiel. So I don't hear it.
I don't know if you've been following so far.
Like,
but I've said it, do it or die.
See?
And I'll say it again. But I may have done it naively. I will still do it nicely, but not naively this time around. And this is the only mission I have in life. Very simple. I believe there's a better way. There's a lot of, you know, corruption out there.
I swear to God, if the only thing that they're taking from him allegedly announcing this rebrand is that he said, I swear there's a better way, I'm going to snap. I'm going to snap.
Different levels. I believe we could do better. We could solve that. We could, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not going to fix the world, but we can make a massive, massive positive impact. And this is my passion. It's not going to surprise you, but just in case, as a reminder. I'll do it even if I never get paid. Even if I never get paid a dime. It's the only thing I will do in my life. It's the only thing I would die for, other than, personal things and national things. I'm talking about business wise. There's no business I would die for, okay? But I'm talking about the the concept of what we're doing, the potential impact, the level of education, the level of financial improvement, and other cures or fixes to different aspects of our life globally. That's the only thing I would do, even if I never ever get paid. This is the only thing I will do. So rest assured, it's very hard, but we're much stronger, and made us even believe how beautiful, how big is our concept and our vision is. And it's worth to fight for. It's worth to continue the battle for at any cost. So we're here. Those losers and bad guys, okay, they're going to be thrown in the garbage yard of history, okay? They will be forgotten. They will rotten. Nobody's going to know them. They have no future, no career, not in the market. They're not respected. They're going to be spit on even from their own children when they grow, and they know how brutal they are. Okay, so nobody's going to respect them, and the truth will always emerge. It's always going to come out, no matter what. If somebody believed there's a secret in a few days, we're going in 2025. They're delusional. Do you believe there's a secret now, or you can keep it with all this technology, all these resources we have?
You can't prevent traffic, but you can help prevent certain.
That's nothing from reality. There's no such a secret. Okay, so the truth will come. Unfortunately, you just have to drain some energy and time and effort on things that are not productive, but they're part of the game, apparently. So if you have not understood what I just said, good. That means you don't care, you're clueless, you don't want to know anything. Good for you, okay? And if you are paying attention, obviously, if this matters to you, I'm sure you know what I mean, okay? I hope so. The bottom line is we're here, we're not going anywhere, and we're going to continue to fight, and we're not going to let them defeat us or steal our dreams. They can steal our money. They stole our cars. They stole our equipments. They stole the offices, the properties. They stole that, the source code. They could steal all of that. But they would never, ever, ever steal the heart or the mind and the stamina that we have. Never, never, never. That remains intact, never going to change or surrender to evil. Now, obviously, you would be interested in more details. So who's this? Who's that? Relax. We'll let you know, okay? We'll let you know one day. Bring your popcorn. I'll show you some pictures, some evidences, and we'll have a good time about, those bad days or ugly days when they're behind us. What matters is where we're going, okay? I told you, I will not let the dream go away. Is it going to be the same way you thought or I thought 5-6 years ago? Absolutely not. That's not realistic. So
Is that what it was?
because of the process and what we have learned so far, change is an evident thing. We must change, is necessary. So you are likely to see drastic changes happening in the coming days. All right. We've got a lot up to our sleeves. Here's the thing.
Fair. Okay.
If you remember,
Okay. Drastic changes. I'll accept that as maybe a hint.
my saying, I know you're on the screen, but this is being casted publicly, so I'm talking to those who don't know, okay? But I don't mean to you right here on the screen, but those who have been with us, we said, when we reach the top, we invent a new top. Keep stacking the cool, all those are our like terminologies. That goes by on our thoughts and ideas and projects. So when you think we've got it all, this is it, that like all our cards are exposed. No, that's insane to think like that. What you know is a little, and what anybody knows, okay, because you've got to keep your powers and good things when things are fine. When you know it's thriving, you're soaring, everything is protected, perfect structure, flawless. Then you stack the cool, then you bring more and more and more. So fortunately, that hasn't been affected and never been disclosed or announced. So we don't know what we're talking about. But I just want you to, what you know we're about to bring, no. It got better technologically, all right? But also structurally, because we have to do it differently with more professional people. The corporate, gotta be documented, okay? Don't just trust all of that. It's obvious. But I'm not talking about that. So what you know not only is coming a lot better because so much has changed, okay? I'm talking about the technical aspect of things. It got to the best part in my life, okay? Where we're led to people they don't need to be baby spooned or whatever, okay? And there are, like, as much as there is evil, there's still good in life, believe it or not. You're a part of that good. So don't let that overtake everything. No, good is still there and is stronger, much stronger. We just don't give up. But I'm talking about the things that we've never put out to the public that, and I'm not saying one thing, not even different sectors. That's why I said many times, and I'm about to say it again, my name is Ash Mufareh. I ain't dying until I change the world, okay? That's done. That's done. I wasn't born just to have a typical life. I was born to change your life and to do good. I believe what I have is there, and I'm not going to surrender or give up any of those dreams. Even if I just give them out. Yes, this is insane. They could create abundance. They could create anything. I'm that idiot, okay, when it comes to that. Because my mission and my passion and love for humanity, far greater for my bank account or legacy as a person. So rest assured, you're going to witness that. And be thankful. Take my word on that. Take that as a good thing, what happened with us. Because remember the Peter's principle, if you know that, or the law of the lid. We talk about it, but I don't need to preach now. It's Christmas Eve. However, it's already Christmas in Australia, right? Hey, okay. So what I want you to know that we're going to continue this fight and we will make it happen. Don't let that affect you. what just happened, and know that we're gonna make it better and bring more. Okay, that's our passion.
Okay.
So if I have to just finish or wrap up, and I'm not gonna do business, just give it out, I will do it. I'm that insane.
Was that it?
So meaning, what's
Was that the announcement of the rebrand? I mean, maybe.
a percentage that this is going to be something that you will use and benefit you? Very high chance. Very high chance. Even if I am not doing it as a business. But there's no reason not to. I think we will have more fun together, and we can even evolve bigger together. So why not? Now, I am also aware that a lot of people really rely and they keep their spirit based on my appearance. As much as I would love to show up more frequent, even hang out, I enjoy the time we spend together genuinely. And on the other hand, there's so many fronts, I'm battling with, making sure the path forward is unaffected. This is going to be passed at any point, and then that's going to be kind of like useless to talk about it, worthless. We're going to focus on something more positive, more productive, respecting our humanity, our families, so we can grow together. But in the meantime, there's so much I'm not supposed to say.
Unleash your creativity with Creative Fabrica, your go-to place
Okay.
for all of your print.
At this time. And since, as you know, I'm like really transparent, open book, I don't have any script right now, okay, or teleprompter or any of that. I just speak from my heart. By design, I could make a fancy presentation, but I like to just talk to you naturally. This is who I am. This is how I talk. Night, morning, whether I'm with 3 people, with family, with anyone, this is who I am. And because I am completely open, it is dangerous if I come, because I'm going to always speak up. Okay. And it's hard to control, to be scripted because of the legal process and this and that. It's obvious. Or you don't want to give more channels for those rats to follow. Okay. But sometimes you just got to throw some crumbs or cheese to the rats and trap them. Anyway, so I would love to show up more, but just understand, there will be time that we would have.
Throw cheese to the rats and trap them. Interesting.
More events, and we're gonna crush it. We're gonna break the internet. The buzz is gonna be beautiful. We've got a heck of a story to tell, and there's no one is gonna steal our dream or our passion. Nobody can do that. I don't think the person that can defeat us yet born, or their parents have met even. Not yet. We're made of gold. We're made of the right things. We're believers. We have massive faith, and we believe God is on our side. Why? Because we're doing something good. We're doing something from the heart, and never, ever, ever, ever think about any harm to any human or even an object. We're only here to make a good impact and to do good for humanity. So I hope you understand why I want to show up, but I can't. And we'll do our best when we can. I'm not going to reserve any thing. I'll tell you all the information you need to know. But at the moment, I hope I gave you enough to show you the direction, what's happening in the background.
No, I'm confused. I'm confused why you wouldn't have announced, and then why Gursminder came out with it. It had to have only been because the recovering Hunbot did. But I'm still like, I don't know. He said some things.
I don't know if it shows. I should get closer, but my commitment time.
I
If you see my nose, my eyes, my
don't
whatever.
remember
Okay.
this part.
With a slide on my forehead, I gotta make somebody laugh. Okay.
Thank you.
It's not less than a year ago, 5 months ago. This is what we do. Any awakened moment. This is what we do. There's somebody who's working on your dreams, even when you're not seeing things are moving, because we cannot tell you everything. We just have to secure it. So this time is completely different. I hope I covered enough so you can talk to me now, and I'm happy to address topics, not details. If you tell me talk about this or that, I'm happy to say a word or two.
Very
Okay, so that's the speech, and since it's not live because I am a moron, but I'll admit there were some things mentioned where if you're watching it now in hindsight, you might take what he said as him announcing the rebrand or hinting at a rebrand. I will say that there were a few sentences, but this is the thing though that I've been asking myself this whole time. Tonight, listening to it, we pick up on these sentences because hindsight is 50-50. But then I had to ask myself, okay, but you didn't pick up on them the first time or the second. This is like my fourth time listening to this now, but it's my first time since the news of the rebrand was, and especially since the news of the rebrand was confirmed by Gursminder, and he claimed that Ash told us during that speech. I'm going, would I have picked up on it if I didn't know, if I wasn't looking at it in hindsight? And obviously not, because I didn't. And now watching it, I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a few phrases that he has said that I am like, okay. Like Chuck is saying, he sort of said it without saying it. And I'm like, okay, now, if I wanted to take this sentence and be like, okay, he's talking about the rebrand here, then I guess I could. And so now I'm wondering, when they found out about it, at least when Gursminder found out about it, and I'm wondering if when he watched it on Christmas Eve, if he was getting a completely different webinar than we got when we watched it all together, Christmas Eve. Like, I'm wondering, because we watched it Christmas Eve, we rewatched it again before New Year's, but I haven't watched it since. And I'm like, now watching it, this is a little bit eye-opening. Where, yeah, if Gursminder knew before Christmas Eve, then he might have heard that. So maybe he, figures, well, it doesn't matter anymore. And he thought it would be okay to announce it, especially since the recovering Hunbot outed it on New Year's. I'm just kind of like, were the rest of the world supposed to get it? Or was he talking in code to only a few people? Can we call that transparent? Because it's not transparent. If only because think about it. If they knew about the rebrand, and if him saying those things was supposed to be some kind of coded message about the rebrand that we were supposed to get from that speech, I don't know. It's bothering me. It's bothering me. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm like, who was it for? Who was the coding for? Was it only Gursminder, Marty, and Chris? Because, wouldn't they have then been the only ones that would have heard? Because, okay, here's the thing. Honest Critic released a video and showed that they had bought the domain several months ago. And we know, based on my video from today, if you didn't see it, go check it out, that when the site went down briefly, and then it was a different name, it was On Fusion Demo. That was the Onpassive site's name. When it went down, it kind of came back up, On Fusion Demo. So they were doing a demo. They did a demo of On Fusion between October 4th, when the site went up as just the login page, to I don't know, Christmas. Sometime in between there that happened. Site went down, remember, and everyone was freaking out. The site was down when it went back up briefly. So I'm like, okay, did he tell them back then maybe? But then on Christmas Eve, only those three would have picked up on this coded message. And I don't know if we can really get mad at ourselves for missing the message. Because as Chris says, it's like Nostradamus. What he said can mean anything. And I was trying to be fair about it too. But I do have to say that, yeah, there were some phrases where I was like, oh, okay. All right. I could see how maybe that would be the case. My Ash Dakota ring shows he said, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine. Good morning. Is there a board or a pecking order? Well, see, that's the thing, is that in this MLM, there isn't even really real teams. They've kind of made their own communities and teams, but this data isn't saved in Onpassive or on Fusion. So it's just kind of whoever streams the most and gets the most views on YouTube is at the top of the pyramid. And right now it's Marty, Chris, Comfort, those sorts of people are at the top. But in terms of MLM downlines, technically they don't really have downlines. Everyone that signed up is supposed to be on the first level of the pyramid at the top. And as we know, that can't be the case, but so there's just kind of a power hierarchy. And it does sort of go by who's the most popular YouTuber within Onpassive, which is also unfair. Since it's a tech business, it shouldn't be, based on that, but nothing here is fair. Is it possible a selected few were told, like Gursminder, Marty, and Chris, and he spoke in code to the rest, just asking? That's what I'm wondering. And then I'm kind of I need to learn this. Because obviously then I must have missed something. because I'm usually pretty good about decoding it. And I was kind of like suspicious that they were going to rebrand. And I told the community that a couple times, that that was the only way that he might have a chance, although still kind of fraudulent. We thought the order was Marty, Chris, Red, Michael, and Gursminder. It now appears that Gursminder is at the top. See, and that's kind of what I'm wondering. Like, because, okay, if he was talking in code, wouldn't it have only been to like 3 people? And I still don't know if Marty and Chris. Do you think that Marty and Chris would have gotten that decoded message based on what he said? Because I'm like, I don't know if they would be intelligent enough. I'm not lying. I'm kind of like, Is it weird they seem to be the only MLM without an inner circle? They've just created that themselves. Yeah. Yeah. And like, I think it's because there is no actual team. There's no real pyramid here. It's just a bunch of people paid Ash. You know what I mean? So everyone's just there. Marina and Charles used to be in the inner circle. See, but that's what I mean. It's like, I feel like Charles maybe still is. Marina's gone though. But I feel like the inner circle really is dependent on the YouTube algorithm more than how many people you sign up or what products you sell, since there's nothing to sell and there's no one to sign up. I think it's hilarious that I thought this was live until he said Christmas Eve. But you know, whatever. I really did like watching it in hindsight. I had like a 6-hour nap today. I don't know what happened. My family just let me sleep. I was obviously very tired, but now I'm going to be up for another like 3 hours. You made a video about Marty changing his videos. That would take a long time. Must have been. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I am saying. So I'm like, what has gone on? Because I don't think that he's just been doing that since my stream. He had to have been doing that for a while, right? Because I was thinking, like, I haven't even changed all my stuff from Queen of Spade. And I was like, why haven't I done that? Because I'm lazy. And because it would take forever. And I would have to go through over 1,000 videos. And I don't post as much as him. And he's been doing it for about as long. Like, I started October 2019. And he started around the same time, I'd say. So I'm like thinking about that. And I was like, I think it would have been longer. It's just we didn't really notice it. And he just changed his banner over and just changed his about section. But he had to have been doing the videos and the streams for longer, right? Because there's even some that once had Onpassive in the thumbnail that don't. And then like Onpassive is taken out of all the titles going several months back. And I'm kind of like, okay, watching this now, if I was Marty, would I had to have known about the rebrand to get this coded message? And I'm starting to think that, yeah, they had to have known. I'm just wondering what happened with Gursminder being the first to say it publicly. And I'm wondering why Ash would have told Marty and Chris that they still can't say anything. Because I'm sure that they're asking him now, like, listen, Gursminder said the company name, and now Hunbot and that Queen lady are talking about it, and that honest critic guy, and so can we mention it? Like, wouldn't they have said something like that by now? You would think. are they so scared of Ash that maybe they're just waiting? Like, yes, men? Do you think maybe they haven't said anything? This has been bothering me all day until I passed out. I feel like racking my brain with this, trying to figure out. Because to me, this is an interesting insight into, yes, the hierarchy of this thing and how each of the members are treated and how Marty and Chris believe that they're the only ones with this secret connection to Ash. And then Gursminder seemed to know just as much all of a sudden. And that kind of came out of nowhere. Because I knew that Gursminder had bought a lot of accounts, and I knew that he was in the know about maybe some of the stuff in Dubai. Okay? But that's where I might have messed up. Because I was thinking that now that Dubai is attached to Mohammed Kamal and is no longer around for this, because technically the Dubai Onpassive isn't the same as the Hyderabad Onpassive, right? They're different LLCs and whatnot. Now I'm like, maybe he does know more about what's going on in like Hyderabad and all of these other places as well. Like, I'm like, maybe he also does have a direct line to Ash. Because I don't think that Marty and Chris are close to Gursminder. And I don't think they're close enough that, like, they would have told him about the rebrand and the name. Like, without Ash's permission. And again, if they're not even asking Ash about the rebrand right now, would they ask for his permission? How scared of him are they? And how much do they talk back and forth? It's really got me like rethinking some of like the stuff here. But then I'm wondering if maybe Ash did it on purpose because he also made that comment about the rats and the cheese. And I'm kind of like, or maybe he's just fucking with us. But then I'm like, no, that's dumb because there's definitely something going on here. Trying to create a Mandela effect for later homeless. See, but they do that. And that's the thing, is I'm like, is maybe that's why it hasn't been released yet? Maybe they're going to do like a slow switch over or something. It's weird, but they try to rewrite history all the time. Marty and Chris are probably salty that they didn't say it first. They seem to be. And that's what's kind of bugging me. Because their anger can't be just towards us talking. They seem like actually deeply angry this time about how this has gone on. And I can't help but think that they're not that angry at myself, Hunbot, and Critic. I think that they're more angry that Gursminder got to come out and say the company name. And it appears they're not allowed to yet. Because, like, if they were allowed to, why wouldn't they just do it now? Like, that part makes no sense to me. Why wouldn't they just do it then? Because eventually they're going to have to. The longer they wait, now the worse it would be. And then also, like, it would have been better for them after we announced it. Instead of getting mad for an hour-long live stream about all of this. Why wouldn't they just come out and then be like, oh yeah, they got us. We're doing a rebrand. That would have been a way better way to go about that. If they just kind of embraced it. I guess they're too egotistical, too hot-headed. There's a lot of reasons why that would have been. But surely they would have then written Ash. If they're texting Ash, right? Say they're texting him. They have direct contact. They're best buddies. Like, they talk like they text him all the time, all day long. They, like, go back and forth all day. They're best friends. And then he gives them updates throughout the whole day and stuff. Like, that's how they present it, which we've also found a little questionable. But if that is true, surely they would have then messaged him and been like, hey, can we just tell people about this rebrand? It would have been almost better to announce it Christmas Eve and then, just start the new year as on Fusion. I'm wondering about, like, Chris earlier brought up the Onpassive train metro station. And I haven't even really processed this whole rebrand yet and what it would mean. But I'm also realizing, like we joked about people with tattoos, the Onpassive metro station, that's going to be the name for 10 years. Apparently, they bought a 10-year contract. I don't know if you can change the name. What happens to that? It's really not good for their business, as now every single thing that they have done until now actually would be for nothing. It was already for nothing. But the little bit of hope they had was that doing it would one day, when they did launch, bring them the success. They thought they were setting up for, like, the future launch at the minimum. But honestly, rebranding fucks that all up. It really does. I mean, I don't think the marketing did much for them when they were on passive. And I'm wondering, no, sweet God, like the recovering Hun bot has good sources. And that is what they're rebranding to. It's just, this has been so weird. Was Gurs trying to get one up on Marty and Chris? Maybe. What if Gurs went rogue and thought, since Honest Critic announced it, Gurs had to try to take back control of India? That would be hilarious. That would be kind of funny, though. Ash can't afford to change the station name now. Well, yeah, because he would have to pay for it if he was going to do that. I don't even know if you can, though. Like, that would have to be a whole new rebrand, because it's not just the name change. They'd have to change all the signs. It would cost them money to change the name, even in their systems, I'm sure. So I'm kind of like, yeah, if they did that, then they would need to pay for it. And there is no money for that. So then what happens? And I guess, well, no, I guess they'd still be connected through Ash. But see, okay, then that takes away the whole point of the rebrand to them. Then I'm confused. Right? Because I was thinking maybe they're hoping that if people look up on Passive, it'll link to Ash and on Fusion. But then isn't the whole point of rebranding so that he can get away from Onpassive? Which, again, as I pointed out, it's not going to work anyway. Because you look up Ash Mufareh, and it's just going to say SEC case. No, not really, Baron. We were just rewatching the Christmas Eve thing. I thought it was live. That was pretty funny. It is weird and does make you wonder what's going on. It does. The video from the flood showed that all the marketing on the inside of the station isn't there anymore. And I'm wondering. See, I don't know if it ever was the way. See, the way that I always took that video was that they faked a lot of the marketing. Like, the marketing on the inside was faked. Because you can edit stuff onto the TV screens quite easily. And it was really just a couple like signs and then TV screens that were allegedly playing their like ad stuff, right? And like you said, when we saw the video of the flood, it all of a sudden didn't look like that at all. And we were very confused. So I think maybe the station is just kind of named Onpassive Metro Station with maybe one sign there with a logo. And Ash and the marketing team were like, that's not good enough. That's not going to be extravagant enough. Okay. So then they like edited it to make it look better. And then that's what they shared. That's what I think happened. It would be so easy to do that. You just get someone to go and record the inside of the station, and then you just edit the stuff on. Or maybe the people that got the video were disappointed when they went there, and then they edited it, you know? But the stairs had Onpassive on the kick plate of each step that wasn't there during the flood. Yeah, you can edit that in, though. You can edit that in. So, you know, it would be interesting, though, if they somehow don't have that anymore. But I did look it up at the time. The metro station is still called Onpassive Station. That's the thing. You can look it up on their train station route. And it is still Onpassive Metro Station. So that's why I think it was edited. That's why I think it's edited. It is. It's very weird. But we were just talking about how he would have had to have worked on that for longer than a few days because of how many videos he has and how he's edited actually a lot of it. Like there's a lot of it that's edited out. It's kind of crazy. Would have taken him quite a while. So I think he did know about this rebrand before Christmas Eve. And watching the Christmas Eve speech, we did hear Ash say some things that now in hindsight, I'm going, okay, if you knew that you were possibly rebranding, maybe you would have gotten that from this speech that he announced it. So I'm wondering. But it's a big thing to rebrand. And I'm having a hard time thinking that his lawyers would have told him to rebrand. I mean, would lawyers? I mean, they are defense lawyers for him. So, I mean, they're okay with him stealing $108 million, apparently. But I'm just, like, I feel like a lawyer would tell him his best interest would be to, like, maybe stop running this and deal with the SEC case and then maybe make decisions about what to do next. Mind you, I'm not a lawyer. But it's interesting that he talked a lot about his lawyer in that speech, about his good legal team. But see, then I get scared because whenever he talks about how good the tech team is, they aren't that great. And I watched that OTech Pros from today. I mean, that's where I got that Mike Ellis video from, the short I did. Go check that out too. And I'm just like, huh. This is friggin' depressing. But Marty again didn't bring up the rebrand. So now I'm like, how long is it going to take until they bring it up? Because I feel like now the longer they wait, the more embarrassing it's going to be when they do it. Because they are eventually going to have to be like, yeah, they were right. We are rebranding. Ash can't stop. He has the entire multiverse to save. He really does. He does. He's going to save all the homeless people, feed all the hungry, house all the homeless, build water filtration systems, and data centers to bring the internet to everyone so that they can all join Onpassive or Onfusion. But no, it means the marketing means nothing now. Not like it ever did, like I said, but it does take away from all of their work. It's like 6 years of their work. Doesn't mean anything. At least before they could say, oh well, when people do join down the line and they look at this, they'll get something out of it. You can't say that anymore. I mean, I have a feeling though that they're going to be like, it's the exact same company, just change the name. But it's not. It's not though. At this point, it's really not. The data center in Palestine really needs to be mobile. Yeah, let's see if he even puts one. I'm still waiting for one of those. Let's get him to do O Connect again before we worry about data centers. Oh my god. I'm laughing at myself now. But for real, I am glad I just rewatched that. That was crazy. I do have to admit there was a few things said, but I'm sure you could definitely say that there was some kind of coded language hinting. And again, if you knew about the rebrand on Christmas Eve, you might have been like, oh, okay, yeah, we're going through with it. He's telling us we're going through with it. And he did say big changes. So, you know, that's what's going on with that. But all right, I'm gonna take off. I'm sorry for sounding alarms. If that's what I did. I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful night. I'll still be up for another couple hours, probably working on slides, because on Monday we are doing MLM Monday. A rebrand gives Ash another 3 to 6 months to mislead the founders. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he already had that, though. Like, did he have to do... I'm trying to think of what he gets out of this legally. Because I can't find anything. Like I said, it doesn't get him out of trouble from the SEC. It doesn't change anything legally for him. So I'm kind of like, is it just so that they have busy work to do as well? Like the busy work Marty's been doing? You know? Is that why? Give them something to do? Because they'll all have to change all of their channel stuff and redo all of the names of their webinars and streams and switch over. Marty can't even remember the year we're in, he said. How is he going to remember the new company name? This is going to be awful. It's like the more I think about this and the more time goes on, now, the like worse I think this is going to be for them. I keep thinking of things. I'll be like doing the dishes and then I'll be like, oh shit, what about this? Are they going to change this? It's a little bit crazy. You know? It's a little bit crazy. I don't understand. I don't understand. Did he? Did Marty upload a new video? No, I think it's just his videos about the 3rd of January still. So I'm going to go finish doing some slides and then hopefully go to bed. We're doing MLM Monday. So stay tuned for that. I love all your faces, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.